pretty good stuff. Hello and welcome to Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits, episode 74. My name is Meg and I will be your host. You are joining me on Friday the 13th. Oh my god. Friday the 13th. And I have a brand new co-host with me, Gypsy, who is right there, eating her leash like a natural puppy would. I'm gonna try to interest her in something else. So, if I'm a teeny weeny bit distracted, you'll understand why. This puddle of cuteness is with me. But I have also packed treats and toys and her bed here, so eventually I'm hoping she'll nap and then we can just talk. Oh, blast. I put the Namibia shawl downstairs. Yeah! Alright. That'll be in the next one. I did finish the Namibia shawl. It'll have to be in the next time. I can't go downstairs. Now that she's up here, we're doing this. So, here we go. If you are a new viewer, welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I am so happy that you are back. I have taken, oh my gosh, almost 2 weeks off. And there's been a ton and a half that has gone on in my life recently. Hence the puppy. Yeah, hi sweet thing. So I will be catching you up on all of that in Babel should you choose to stick around. In the meantime, we have some cows that are going on. We have the Christmas in July knit along, which is by me, and it's basically knitting anything for you or someone else. That could be a Christmas gift or something that you would be doing during the holiday season. And it's meant to take the pressure off of you. So allowing it to do that. What else? I am also doing, the Swapless Swap should be ending quite soon. The Swapless Swap is being run through my Ravelry group at the moment by Happy Scrappy Life. And if you would like to receive a bunch of minis from me via her, then please head over there and sign up. I haven't checked in this week. I'm not sure if we're already sold out. That would be awesome. But yes, so check that out should you wish. Yes. Oh, did you find a squeaker? Is that so exciting? Yes, yes it is. Oh, are you in view? Yes. See, for those of you who have been around a while, I raised a service dog and her name was T. She was a yellow lab, absolutely gorgeous, but would always find the way to be exactly out of view of the podcast. She would sit like behind me or behind a pillow or behind the chair, and she would just be out of sight. So, I'm hoping to train Gypsy. This is Gypsy. I'm hoping to train Gypsy to be in view and to podcast with me. Kind of like how Jen Sheelan, she always has her puppies, dogs, her love, her fur babies, all of the good stuff. They're always, on the podcast or sitting next to her or hanging out with her, so it's so cute. And I'm kind of hoping that you will be the best co-host ever. Yeah? Gypsy is our forever puppy, so you can feel free to get massively attached to her. We already are. Oh, did you find that again? Is that so exciting? I know. I leashed you because there's a lot of yarn in here that I can't have you eating. I also protected the wall, so if you're ordering from the wall, no worries. The puppy has not been on any of those games. You are such a mush. You're such a mush. So, I think that's all of the administrative bits. Ooh, what's this? Ooh, it's exciting. Let me move that out of your way. And oh, look, a fox. Haha. This is puppy distraction. Ooh, food. Look, what's that? And we are going to attempt to podcast without her trying to eat / sniff all of the knits. Moving right on to FOs. I did finish my Namibia shawl. I left it downstairs. It was the last thing I was supposed to grab, and I totally forgot. So I'm so mad about that. But I do have another FO. And how gorgeous is this? So this is the Letters to Santa colorway by Nomadic Yarns, and I absolutely love her yarn. I would say there's really just no colorways that I've gotten that I didn't like. I did D-stash one to Tristan, because the purple I thought it was going to be like a burgundy, and it was more of like pinky violet, and it was beautiful, but it just wasn't exactly what I thought it was. She's like in the bed. Can you see that? She's like tucked in here. God, what a nerd. So I bought Letters to Santa. I saw it. I drooled. I had to have it. And oh my gosh, I started these when I checked myself into the ER on the 22nd. And I knit one stripe for every hour that it took us to get in there. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 stripes done. It took 8 hours to get into the ER. So I got all the way up to here on the first day, night thing. Then worked my way up a little bit. I think I got to the heel maybe a day or 2 days after. Then not fish lips. Afterthought heel, so I had breezed right through that, and I worked on the legs, and I got all the way up to the cuff, and I had forgotten to pack the red sparkly yarn. Or actually, excuse me, I had packed it, but the bag had been taken home already, because I was like, oh, I don't need that one. Like, I must have had like 8 or 9 project bags with me, because I was there for 5 days. So I was like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna want to work on. So I didn't have sparkly yarn. So it took, after that break, I kind of not lost my mojo, but I slowed down a lot on it. And I finally like sat myself down and was like, no, finish these, have an FO for the podcast. It's not any of the socks you've been working on and should be working on, but have an FO for the podcast. So I finished these up, and the red sparkly yarn was a gift from a viewer. It was one of my first episodes, like maybe 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there. And I absolutely love it. It's perfect for Christmas things. I just love it so much. But yes, so Letters to Santa. I think you need it. You think you need it. You do. You do need it. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. So I'm absolutely and massively obsessed with it. I love my FO. I'm so excited. I'm gonna put it down here in the hopes that Gypsy Puppy does not eat it. Does not eat it. No. Another thing that I worked on when I was staying was my cozy memories, which is growing significantly. I think the last couple of squares you saw were maybe the Christmas ones here. So since then, chilly weather, sweater weather, chilly, cold, chill in the air, a chill in the air. I think that's it. And this one's the burrow. This one's mine, Felix Felicis. This one is the shawl that I did. You're such a nerd. This one's the shawl I did, and it is from the Namibia, so it's the 3 Broomsticks by Bumblebee Acres. And then coming around, I added extra, so the other 2 parts of my sweater, my colorway, which is the Shell Cottage, there it is. This one was my Grandmother socks, and it was a Regia. You were such a nerd. The Regia. This one was a gift. Oh, these are my beach socks that I will show you in a minute. And my koi pond top, which I don't know if you remember because it's been an age and a half since I had that one. But it's getting really, really big. I'm absolutely loving it. And it's perfect lap size now, which I had the dryer on all night, so it's a little warm up here. So I'm not going to put it in my lap. You are kicking me in the back. Do you know that? You are kicking me. You're kicking me in the back. Smoosh. All right. Yeah. Hey, don't bite me. There you go. Oh, a little smush. She's so cute. I love her to pieces. Yeah. Yeah. Let's push you back there. All right. Is she still in view? I think she is. Okay. Ow. What am I sitting on? Oh, no, you are not doing that. Next up, new cast on. I had this gorgeous thing caked up. Absolutely love. And I did start them. I also in here have an adorable Get Well card from Ash. She's just so sweet. It was so nice. I got quite a few little like tidbits in the mail that were just my heart. Just so wonderful. And I had kind of talked about the fact that I do 2 at a time socks, and I quickly realized that nobody really makes 2 at a time, what do you call it, cozies, 2 at a time cozies. So Lindsay made me one, Georgianne made me one, or a couple. Oh my gosh. So I have Mischief Managed on this one, which is so cute. Hi, puppy. What are you doing? Okay. Ow, that's my foot. Nerd. And I got these socks. So what am I doing? Take them out of the cozy. They are not very much done, but they are super fun, and I do love them. Oh, these stripes are so beautiful. And this is Lollipop Yarns, and I have to find what color it actually is. I am calling it like my beach day, so I worked on these over the 4th of July because we went down to Avalon and we went to the beach, and this is the mermaid bag that Georgiana and I did. So this is Stitching Plaza. She picked this fantastic fabric, this gorgeous, gorgeous glittery green. Oh my word. Absolute love. And then it came with Nugget. Say. Good girl. It came with my green mermaid holiday party yarn. So, very exciting. So that one's that. Hi, Gyps. Hi, Gyps. What you doing? Come Mama hold you. Oop. You say hi? You say hi? Say I'm Gypsy and I'm ridiculous? Yeah, I'm Gypsy and I'm ridiculous. Wee. Yeah, so Gypsy is a 10-week-old puppy who is now hunting my project bag. Excellent. All right. Yeah, she's a nerdlet. And a total distraction of cuteness. Yeah. Go get Fox. Go get him. Yeah. So I actually I made Gypsy kits. It's supposed to be her color, her coloring. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna work that up yet, but I wanted to share because you're cute. Here you go, get in bed. Take a nap. It's her nap time. She knows it. I know it. She just hasn't settled down yet. It's everybody's nap time. Yeah. Yeah, you little nerd. Yeah, you little nerd. Oh, she wants her yarn. So in this one, with another fun cozy, well, what's her in this? I did work a bit, and not a ton, but a bit, on my peppermint bark socks. I really should have had these done. I'm sorry, guys. I failed. I should have had them done. I just couldn't focus. Oh, here's the red yarn from the other one. And then here is my yarn, which is Pepper Imps. And Pepper Imps is what I'm going to mix with peppermint bark, which is from the yarn jar. There you go, the yarn jar. I've been trying to use cozies more because of Gypsy. I also am using project bags all the time because she's a nugget that likes to chew. And I'm a person who loves my yarn and doesn't want her to chew on it. Gypsy! Hi. 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 You're all tangled. You're all tangled. Boop. Awesome. Gypsy. Oh, come on. All the way. Come on. There you go. Good girl. She is only 10 weeks old, and we've only had her for like 10 days. So I'm pretty proud of her training so far. Yeah. I also did work a little bit. I got, oh, good girl. I got like 4 or 5 stripes done on my birthday socks that are a total languishing whip. These can't go in my box of socks. I mean, they could, but I'm an honest person, and y'all could call me out on it. So, this is what I got done from here up. Suicide jump. Anyone see that? Gypsy! I'm sitting on the leash, you're not going anywhere. So I got all of these done, and I finally marked in the heel. That took 4 flippin' ever. Seriously. And on here I have Lindsay's cake charm that we did for Madame Puttyfoot. I have a birthday charm that I got from Kay, who's the crazy sock lady, and I have Pitter Patter Polymer Little Donut. Oh, sorry, Little Donut. So cute. Yeah, I love this yarn. I forget what it's called now, but yeah, I love this yarn. Gyps, don't even think about it. I do not have a little cozy on that one yet, so I've just been leaving the bag closed. And I received this bag as a gift, and it's gorgeous. You see, did she put it? Yes. So it's stitched below is the bag. Oh, so beautiful. So stitched below is holding my birthday socks. Gypsy, come on, come here. I'm gonna put Gypsy yarn under here. What's this? I am breezing right through. This is great. Okay. So a new cast on. I'm still working on Pat's socks. I'm still working on all the socks, really. But try to get her back. This is my life now. If I created her, she'd probably cry the whole podcast. A new cast on. New cast on that I have is my Bits and Bob's blanket. And this is by Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Kay Jones, Bakery Bears. Are you all tangled and you can't get up? Is that the problem? I'm all tangled and I can't get up. I can't get up. Yeah. You're a nerd. Ow. Don't bite me. Don't bite me. Don't bite me. Don't even think of biting that. You'd be in so much trouble. Oh, scoop you up. Would you like to say your FOs? Do you have anything to add to the podcast? Yeah? No? Nothing to add? No, thank you. Alright, there you go. Go back to chewing things. So this is my Bits and Bob's blanket, which Gypsy has only gotten in her mouth once. I'm kind of proud. I'm using a huge Magic Knot ball. Huge. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I can. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It's so big. So good. So big. So I'm using that, and I just bought this bag from Jilly, who is the knitting, the knitting broomstick. And I am mixing mine with Hedwig, which if you've been watching This Old Knit, who is Nina, you will have seen my Hedwig color in her sweater, which is so fun. But I just bought this bag as a D-stash. It's chicken boots, and it's called Sprint Slytherin. It has the plastic bottom. I have one of Pat's socks in there because I rescued it from Gypsy. And I'm not a Slytherin, but this bag was just super, well, I love Harry Potter anyway. And it's just super creepy. I liked it. So this is my Bits and Bobs, which I think I've got, there you go. I think I've got pretty on screen. So fun. So fun. And I got like that much, let me see this, like that much done the other day. So exciting. Oh my gosh. I went up to a US 7, yeah, which is a 4.5 millimeter. And it's super squishy. It's super duper squishy. I started with a 6, and I don't know if it was because I started with Hedgehog, which you've all heard my opinions on Hedgehog. Beautiful colorways. So I started with Hedgehog, and it wasn't really giving me squish, so I was like, oh, maybe my gauge needs to be looser, so I went up to a 7. And in here I have, the edge is my Shell Cottage, then it went to Elizabeth Bennet, Then it went to the Will Await Your Owl. This one up here is the Homespun House in the Christmas Lights colorway, the first gift I ever got from Molly, and oh my word, it warms my heart every time I look at it, and her colorways are beautiful. And she's moving to America. I think it already happened. She's definitely with her mom right now. Okay, anyway. So Molly's, and then this big one right here was a test mini of Christmas at Hogwarts from my shop, and then we just moved into God Rest Ye Merry Hippogriff, which I haven't released. It's like grays, browns, greens, so it's all right there. Oh, and yeah, this is most of the knitting time that you see. Yes, bam, there she is. There she is. Can you see her? I think you can. This is most of the knitting time. I started it on Sunday, and it's Friday, and I just got 1, 2, 3, maybe 6 inches tall. I'm gonna guesstimate. But I'm housing it in my brand new Slytherin bag. My husband claims himself, he is a Ravenclaw, but he claims himself like a Slitherclaw, and I'm a Griffin puff, so, you know, a bit of both. But I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist the art. The art is so beautiful. So this was Chicken Boots, and I have no idea about her update, so I don't know. I also have coffee in a thermos today, and I've been adding 1 loaded teaspoon of latte in there. It's like a caramel latte from Maxwell House, and instead of using, like, they call for like 4 teaspoons or something per 8 fluid ounces, and I just throw 1 loaded teaspoon in to my regular coffee to give it like a latte-ish feel. Yes, we're totally in nap time now. I got all the time in the world. Awesome. So so I did work on my blaster cardigan before, and I told you that I had done the whole body, and then I had to rip it all out. I went back and I got it back on the sleeves, and yeah. I just I'm still working, but I figured I'd show it because I haven't showed it in a bit. I didn't do this in the hospital. I didn't have the brain space for the eyelets and stuff. And since we got the puppy, I haven't had the brain space to do the eyelets either. So this is just gorgeous. I'm just gonna hold it up for a sec. You can admire it too. Oh, and this is the Blaster cardigan by Annie Satterland. And I think it's gonna be so pretty once it's done. And it has been on hold for a bit because I just, you know when you don't have the brain space, you know. I also, that was stash enhancement. We'll do that in a minute. I did stash enhance myself a lot because I was feeling quite poorly for myself because I didn't feel well and I was in the hospital. So I bought myself lots of gifts. So this is my Shell Cottage colorway, and the tube was cranked by Drew, who is with Scarlett, and she her slogan on the thing is "We'll crank for yarn." So cute. And then I'm using the pickle juice. I put the toes on, and now I gotta do cuffs and then fold and then do heels and then socks. And this was a 50 gram or less. This was a scrap, I think, from my sweater that I did. And it's just funny how you can see like the speckles play differently on one end of the skein to the other. But that's hand-dyed yarn. It's a bit of a potluck, but so pretty. So pretty. So these are on my to-do list. Again, I could have had so many socks done, and I just couldn't find the brain space to finish anything. And I don't know if it's just because I just wasn't feeling well, or I wasn't feeling myself, and I wasn't feeling my projects. But working on my cozy memories was very therapeutic. And then every night at the hospital, Pat didn't leave me, so I would throw my blanket over him, and it made me feel like it was doing exactly what it was born to do. Like the blanket's meant to be a blanket. And finally, it was big enough. It wasn't just a line of squares. Finally, it was big enough to put over from his shoulder to his elbow and at least keep his chest, warmer, because I was keeping the hospital room very cold. All right. All right, so project, stash enhancement. Stash enhancement. As you may know, Felici did their update, so I won't take them all out. This is one of my favorite though, Blue Lagoon. Ooh, so beautiful. And I got this one. It looks a lot like the birthday socks that I'm working on, but I, again, couldn't resist it. Something about it called out to me, and I bought a rainbow. It's a rainbow. And this one just looked like my mom, so I think I'm gonna make her some beachy socks. And this one looked like something Pat could wear. I got those. This one looks like my friend Trina. So I got those. And I got maybe 2 of everything. There's a couple more in there. This is Stormy Sky. Again, really good socks for Pat to go to work in. So I picked up, God, I have like an insane amount of Felici, which Drew, we're gonna trade, and then she said she would help me like crank some of the old ones out, so I'd be able to knit the new ones. I also, and I'm obsessed, on Twisty Sock, which is an 80/20/400, I got Halloweeny from Nomadic Yarns. I'm obsessed. So massively obsessed. It's so good. So good. Oh, gosh. And everyone seems to be bitten by the same bug recently. Like, we're all like, fall, 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 fall. Like, everyone that I'm following seems to be on the same bandwagon with me, that we're all into fall. Well, that's very rude of you. Everybody's, you can't just honk. Ugh. Now, where is, I bet, think. Oh, think. I know I have another project bag downstairs. Bugger. I put Lindsay's on one of my socks, and now I can't remember which sock it was. That's sad. I'm sorry, Lindsay. I'm gonna pull out the DPN Cozy the minute that I find what project bag I put it in. Oh, it's gorgeous. I showed it off on Instagram. It has like purple, and it has a galaxy, and oh my god, yeah, it's not in here. I tried to collect everything up. I can't. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. Good girl. Oh, good girl. You're so sweet. Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah. Once we get to Babel, I am holding you. So Georgianne, I owe her yarn, so I will be sending that over. But Georgianne is amazing and sent me like a little care package of DPN cozies and love, basically. And this is a pom-pom, so it would go on your hat. It's massive. It's like solid. It is like bam bam solid. And there's her tag. Oops, sorry. Hold that. Bam. Oh my gosh. And she puts the Kitchener stitch on the back. The Kitchener stitch, for anyone who's brand new to stuff, is something that you can use to sew 2 pieces of fabric together. So you have live stitches, and you sew them together so that you can't see the seam. So you do it on the tops of maybe your seam here, or like a toy. You can Kitchener it together, or the toe of socks. So that's something Kitchener is very handy for. And then she said, oh my gosh, she makes these little triangle notions pouches. Guys, these are so cute. And they open like so. Look at that. Oh, so cute. I love it. Oh, I love it so much. So, I'm a Gryffindor. I'm a Gryffindor. So she made me a Gryffindor one. And then I got some DPNs to match. Oh my gosh. And oh my word, I'm so excited because we didn't do DPNs with our update when we did the bag and yarn and charm. That was a big one already. And a mini, like, you guys paid enough. I couldn't add more on there. But oh my word, these little faces. Oh, so yes, just so obsessed. She's making some gorgeous cozies, and like the batting is great. I don't know, Georgianne, are you selling these right now? I think you if you aren't, you should. Like, they are just whoosh, whoosh. I don't know what kind of thing she puts in the inside. I suppose it's like batting or filling, or I don't know. It's got great, and link her up. Okay. It's got great like hit to it. I think I got this one, and this was our collective. We did Doctor's Ugly Christmas sweater last Christmas, so I got this little one, and it's gonna go with my stuff. Oh, I'm so excited. So fun. So I put all those together so that I would not forget anything. And then I got this gorgeous little Progress Keepers from Angela, who I saw her name go through the shop too. I've got fuzzies on my eyelash or something. Isn't this the worst? So these are handmade, and I don't want to drop them, so I'm gonna hook one on the other, and I'll just have to hold the one. So, oh my gosh, how sweet. Can you see that? I think you can. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can see that. I can see my finger moving. Oh my gosh. These little owls. And they're like little Gryffindor owls because they've got red and gold on them. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's one little hair. I'm so sorry. I just keep like doing this, but like the sweetness. Look how cute is that? Oh, thank you, Angela. Number one, was massively touched by your kindness of reaching out and being like, I got you something. Like, you had to have this. But then to send it over, and you know, I had been having like so much going on recently, and it was just really, really nice. And your note was really, really nice. And thank you so much. I'm just so loving it. How am I doing on time? Oh, 9:30 in the morning, honestly. Okay. Then, stash enhancement, I bought myself the ChiaoGoo twist needles. So excited about that. So they look like this on the inside. They have all of your cords and all of your needles. They're beautifully packaged. The packaging feels nice. It looks nice. Yeah, it's just, I'm trying to keep the set together, obviously, as much as possible. So I'm using, like, when I can use a regular needle, I just use a regular needle. But I love having, if I'm going on like a trip or something, just packing this, and if I need to move something up or down on cords or cables or needles, it would be so easy. So I'm so massively excited about that. Yes, love it. I am actually, so that this doesn't pause, I don't think it'll die, but I'm actually going to plug in my phone for a second. So pardon my hands. Pardon the shaking. All right, let me try that. All right, so you already saw the Slytherin bag. I had ordered that from a D-Stash. I also got the Hobbit from No Makers. I have not had a skein of No Makers, and it's on a sparkly gnome, so it's 5% sparkle power, which is hilarious. But it's gold stellina, which is really pretty. So it looks like this. I'm getting like super glare on my mirror, so I can't see as much as I want to, but I think you can see that. This is my, Oh, this is, okay, I'm good. Yeah. Sparkle Moon. Oh my god. It's gorgeous. I don't know if it wants to be a hat, shawl, part of a sweater. I don't know what it wants to be yet, but it's amazing. And Jilly is awesome. She sent a little note and everything. So she said, I know you've had a rough time of it lately, so I've gifted the podcast these bags. One is for you, and the other is to give away or use for a Cal. Your choice. She truly hopes that you, and I'm sure you, like them and that I get well soon, which I hope so too. Thank you, Jilly. I miss you. I feel like we haven't chatted in forever, which might be my fault. But oh my word, I love you. And I got a little mini I'm gonna add into my bits and bobs. I like the freedom with the bits and bobs that, like, if the mini isn't quite enough to do a square, it doesn't matter. Like, I love that. And there's some tea, which is a chai spice, and I love chai spice, so that's amazing. But there's two bags, and this one, so I'm gonna call it quilted because it's 6 different fabrics. So you've got these 3 here, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. And then if you flip them, you've got 3, bum, bum, bum. Oh my gosh, like, how gorgeous. And these bags are huge. As Tristan and Christy might have done, I could put this bag on my head. Like, it's a big, big, big bag, which I'm obsessed with. There's this one, and it has a little broomstick on it for the knitting broomstick. And then there's the tortoise. Oh. Which I haven't had a Doctor Who bag in a really long time. I've bought mostly Harry Potter ones and some Disney, and of course the Nutcracker, which I couldn't help. I was so lucky she sent that to me because I flipping love the Christmas stuff. But I think that I'm keeping this one. Okay. So the Harry Potter will be part of the giveaway. I'm not sure if it's gonna be Christmas or if I'll just do like a giveaway, you know, a prompt in the thread and I will let you know. I will let you know soon. I have my Christmas pile is how many do I have? I've got a couple notions, which was from Laura of Tiny Human Knits. I love you. I'm sending hugs. I have the Christmas red and green skein with the jingle bell on it. I have a bag from Knit for Brains, I believe. I have a stag bag from Lila Smiles. Oh, I have to check who made that again. So I have a no, that's Nicole. That's it. It's NSP Designs. So I've got all of those, and I've got a couple that I could work for Christmas. And then of course I could donate something too because I can dye the Christmas yarn. But yes, so this bag, I think I choose this bag. I'm pretty sure. But they're both beautiful. That's why I'm having a difficult time choosing. There we go. And my Chiagu. I'm trying to keep everything kind of off here in case Gypsy wants to play around again. But she is napping. And once she naps, she's napping for a while, which is pretty awesome. It's kind of like Inception here. Like, there's still Tifa, the first lab. There's still Tifa in this apartment. So at one point, Gypsy had Tifa on her. And I'm like, it's a dog on a dog. Like, ridiculous. I also, and this was a while ago, I ordered from London House Yarns. Katie from Inside Number 23 had the 4 Founders yarn, and I fell in love with it, and I just couldn't resist. So I had to get some. So pretty, and this is the tag. Again, so pretty. Oh, God, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So, pop's still out. Do I have anything else before I get into this? Because this is big. no, I think that's it. All right, so there are two new colorways that will be, I'm going to say eventually offered. They're not going up right away. So let's go with the first. We got Gypsy. She was from Greenfield Puppies, which is a website, and I went up to Lancaster with my husband to get her. We didn't know who we were getting. We saw a litter of 8 puppies, and I really, really liked the look of this one gazelle. And when we got up there, she was beautiful, but she had a bid on her. Someone was sending money to buy her. And so I didn't really feel like fighting someone, especially like a breeder who really, like, he wants her coloring. Like, I don't care what the dog looks like as long as it loves me. That's it. So then Pat picked up a really cute one, Grace, but she pooped on him, and then she ran away, and she never came back. She, like, went and, like, fell asleep somewhere, probably. So I was like, no, not that one. That one's too much like T, because T was very independent, which was good because she's a service dog. She wasn't supposed to get attached to us. Of course, we got very attached to her, but that's besides the point. And then I noticed this little one with one spot on her back kept coming up and sniffing me and letting me pet her, and then would walk away, but then like would come back again, and then would come back again. And I was like, I think this one likes me. Like, we should get this one. So I picked Gypsy. Her name originally was Giggles, and she didn't know that, so we changed it. She was only 9 weeks old when we picked her up, so tiny, tiny. And Pat and I immediately were like, you need to make yarn for Gypsy. And I'm like, yeah, I do, because I already have a skein for T. So this is a solid speckled skein, and it has her color. We've decided that we didn't want to go with pink just because she's a girl, but I really love mint and I really love teal, so we decided that Gypsy is also a teal girl because it looks so pretty on her. So the Gypsy kits will be available soon. I'm still working out, like, sorry, fluff on my nose. I'm still working out when I have to photograph it. These are both mock-ups, so the final might be, this might be lighter or darker, this might be lighter, or the brown might be darker. So I'm working on that. Yeah. And then I'll have this one, but I'll talk about that in a second. Also coming up, before I get into Babble, which I feel like I do all the time, but before I get into Babble, there is a kit coming up. It is the Christmas at Hogwarts 5 minis that you get from me with a charm that I'm so excited about. We haven't released the charm yet. We haven't told you the charm yet, but Lindsay and I narrowed it down to something that we think is going to be perfect. So she's working on that, and she's working on the Slug Club. So those adorable slugs with a little holly on their head, oh my gosh, are going to be coming out. I'm going to put the pre-orders up on the 25th of July, which is not Wednesday, but the next. So this is about a week and a half notice that both those will be going up on the 25th. So if you want to snag both, I would suggest getting on Etsy, having anything already in your cart that you want, like having it ready, hitting, hit the 2 quickly and check out. I think you should be safest. They don't seem to go as quick as like Kristen yarn, but they do move if the kit is liked. So the Diagonale set went very quickly. I'd say within an hour we sold them, which was wonderful. The Herbology set went out in 42 seconds. I've never seen it happen. It was incredible, and I am so grateful for all of you that supported that kit. Oh my gosh. Both Georgiana and I and Lindsay all got a little bit out of that, and it was just so wonderful to collaborate, and it was so wonderful to be with everyone. So yeah, so those 2 are coming up. All right, now readjust. I'm just gonna readjust a little bit. I'm sitting on something. What am I sitting on? I'm sitting on your toys. I'm sitting on your toys. May I hold you, my angel? Oh, may I hold you? Yeah. Good. gosh, you're so sweet. Hmm. So cute. Oh, I love you. I love her little grunts. I love her everything. She sounds like a little piggy when she grunts. So cute. So we went up and we found Gypsy, and yeah. So I guess this brings me into Babel. So rewind about to Hi. Now you're up? Really? Don't be up. Just nap. Nap with me. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. We 4 to 2 weeks. I woke up on Friday and I had no feeling in my feet, and then by the next Monday, it was in my shins, it was in my legs, like the numbness just kept happening. So, freaked out, I went to the doctor's on Wednesday, and I did a podcast on Thursday here, still numb, and yeah, it was very freaky. At that point, I had been sent to a neurologist on Friday, which I did, and then I was checked into the ER later that day. I went in at 12, but I didn't get in until 8, which was a really long wait. And then I was in there, and they really didn't have any answers yet, so they thought that I might have Guillain-Barré. They thought that I might have transverse myelitis, which is where your immune system attacks the myelin sheets around your nerves, from the very limited understanding I've got. Science wasn't my strong point. Art, religion, literature, I could nail all those. History, yeah, wasn't great at that either. But science was not my strong point. So I'm going to try to explain this as science, non-science-y as I can. Forgive me. So basically on Saturday they sent me in for 2 MRIs, and the first one was on my whole spine. I had to do it with and without contrast, which means they put a little dye in you, and anything that is new sucks up the dye. So they take the picture, and then anything that is dyed after they take the second picture, they know is new stuff, and old stuff won't take the dye. So I was in the MRI machine, which basically is like a coffin. It's like a coffin tube. It's very tight and very uncomfortable and very cold, and I had a huge panic attack about an hour and a half in. I was in there for 2 hours. About an hour and a half in, just lost my head. But I got through it, pulled through, got my head together, continuing on. So go back upstairs, eat something, and then they come up and they're like, yeah, we have to do your head too. Okay. So they take me back down, but this time I kind of knew what was happening, and I had eaten, and I had used the restroom previously, so I felt better, to say. Still not fun, but I kind of like meditated. You know how people say they have like out of body experiences? I don't think I had that, but I really, really like meditated so hard that I could take myself out of where I was, which was a very cold, long tube that made loud noises. And I thought about knitting. I just thought about like how I would start a tank top and where I would start and how I would connect the sleeves, and oh my gosh, I was like hardcore in this like dream state of how I would knit this shirt. So the 40 minutes went pretty quickly. I can't say I fell asleep because it was so loud in there. I don't think it was possible, but I definitely like meditated hard. So I come back up and the rest of the day goes along, and I'm on an IV at this point. And I was able to knit, so that was a blessing at least, but they would put like Benadryl in, so I would fall asleep. I wasn't walking much, just like to and from the bathroom, so I was getting like weaker, like my legs were tired because I hadn't been using them. It was just, I was wiped out. And those were long days and cold days, and they wake you up at 5:30 to like put a pressure cuff on you or take blood and be like, okay, good night, and like walk away again. It's 5:30 in the morning, you just woke me up. Like, it's awful. So the next day, the doctor comes in with my MRI results, and he had some bad news, and I could see he did. I could see that he was, it wasn't going to be good, whatever he was saying. So he opens up my MRIs on my spine, and he's like, you have 2 sclera on your spine. One is at your lower back, which is where the nerves were affected from my episode of this, like, loss of feeling. And I have another, like, really high on my spine. And he's like, this one seems to be silent. You've had it. You don't remember any, like, loss of vision or loss of my arm or loss of my fingers or, like, numbness in my feet again. Like, nothing. Like, no. So that one appeared to be silent. But then that would have been like 1 episode. Maybe 2. The first one I didn't feel. So then he goes into my MRI for my brain. And there were more white spots. So, pretty gently, he said, since there are multiple sclera, that means that you are diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, which was a huge left turn for me. That wasn't even on my radar. I thought I pinched a nerve. I thought I wore the wrong shoes. I hadn't had any other episodes like this. Like, I was not ready for that. And of course, I think a lot of people know at least one person with MS. And, they lead pretty normal lives. The older they are, the less medicine and access they had. So he said originally, he's like, look, like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I would have said it was 10 years to a wheelchair for you. But now there's 14 different drugs. You're going to have a very normal life. And anytime you have an episode, you just come in, you get the treatment, and it will stop. So our goal is management right now. I'm in no pain, which is great. And basically, I just have to take it a little easier for a while. So when I dye yarn, I dye smaller batches at a time, and I sit down more. I'm working through an order for Lovely Yarns right now, and they were very gracious to give me an extension, because the week that I wanted to give it to them originally was my first week out of the hospital, and I was like furniture surfing. Like, I would just touch things as I walked, because I wasn't quite steady yet. My legs were still tired, and I went up and down the stairs maybe 4 times to get this podcast together, and I can already feel that my thighs were like, what are we doing? Because I've been not avoiding, but I've been not using the stairs unless I absolutely need to, because I know it tires me out really fast. The sclera on my brain are extremely small, which is why most of them haven't affected me yet, like vision loss or passing out or losing my arm or my finger, like numbness, tingling, dizziness, slurred speech, all these great things that I have to look forward to now. So basically, on a day-to-day basis, I write down how I feel and how my body feels and all of that stuff. So someone asked me on Instagram, they're like, is Gypsy your dog or is she a service dog? And I said to Pat, I was like, yes. She's yes. She is going to be raised as a service dog, and she is also my dog. So I get her for her whole life, and she is also going to be trained in a very similar manner that we trained T, because we had great trainers. We had great people that helped us to raise T and to do that for Warriors. So we're just applying knowledge at this point. We know what a dog's capable of, and we know that we're capable of it. And Pat and I definitely stronger together. He is my rock. He did not leave my side in the hospital. Um, he has helped me with so much, just doing extra loads of laundry for me, or carrying the yarn upstairs to the dryer at night when my legs are tired, carries it all up, puts it in, turns the dryer on. Like, he's been amazing. I knew he was amazing when I married him, but every day he comes through for me. So it's just such a blessing to be so loved. And everyone, you guys, you have all been so supportive, even though you didn't really know the whole story. Sending me get wells, sending me, I hope you're feeling better. And I am feeling better. Um, I just, oh, this is why I got her. This is why, because she makes me smile. I'm not alone in this little apartment right now. She's love. She is love and warmth and soft, and she gives me a reason to move. I do need to stay active. I do need to eat healthy, which I already kind of do. Like, I wasn't doing McDonald's daily anyway, so I don't have to make massive changes, but I should work a little bit more veganism into my diet. And I know Molly's vegan, so I might hit her up for some good recipes because her whole family does it. So not that I never thought oh, I have MS, now I should become vegan. But a lot of the cookbooks and stuff suggest low meat, low fat diets. So yeah, it's just it's been so much recently, and it took a lot to get to this. I was gonna just do a diagnosis video, and I didn't want to do a podcast until I did it, but then I realized I didn't have it in me to do both. So I was like, you know what? This goes in the Babble section, and if people want to skip it, that's fine. And eventually I'll probably do something as for MS awareness. And speaking of, speaking of MS awareness, is that what we're doing? Speaking of, I have created a kit, and I've been, I talked with Lindsay, and I told her what I was doing. I had this vision, shall we say, of a kit, and I'm calling it One Cup at a Time, because honestly, that's been my mantra since the move wedding that we did in 2016, with the new job. It was just so much at once, and I just had to continually remind myself to take it one cup at a time. So once again, I have created a sock set, or a mini set, shall we say. So the whole kit is called One Cup at a Time, and the final kit will come with a delicious mug of, think of like a latte chai swirl gorgeousness. And what I mixed was the warmth of, pumpkin season and cinnamon and all this gorgeous stuff. But then I also mixed in the Stargazer Lily, which is the top portion of what reminds me of Easter, rebirth, hope, just all these things that I want in my life. And the pink I wanted a nice fuchsia to go with the lily orchid feel. So for these, in the hospital, I was hearing a lot about the Tits Out Collective, and I was like, maybe this is a way. And then I realized I didn't need somebody else's soapbox. Oh, thank you. I had something that I needed to say all on my own. And so I am going to be making these kits, and then I'm going to be donating the proceeds that we get from it to the MS Foundation. People with MS are about 1 in 1,000, and yet so many of them are in our lives. I had a friend in grade school, and her dad had it, and later on, I have another friend in grade school and her aunt has it. Now I have a friend in work and her aunt has it. And we looked through, the podcasting community, and her husband has it, and this person has it, and her sister had it. So there's so many people that kind of quietly go through this, and I wanted to give back to the people that are going to give me hope with these medications, that I will be able to keep all of my episodes at bay. I will be able to live a wonderful life, and having Gypsy, in case, I get a little wobbly or I need a day where I'm not feeling as great and I need her help picking things up, bringing me things. Her balance, she'll be tall, about 55 pounds strong and tall. So she'll be a good balanced dog eventually. She's so tiny now though, so she can't balance. But she's so sweet. Oh, she's so sweet. So it's been a lot, and I know I didn't have to tell you, but I felt that it was just better to be open about it, plus raising awareness and getting funds for MS research, and the hope that these medications will just keep us going, is just wonderful. I'm under observation for 2, so I got my blood work done yesterday. I am getting another MRI done on Tuesday, and then I meet with my MS specialist in early August. So I should be getting a medication soon, and I'll find out which one that is, and then that's it. In the meantime, as my neurologist kept saying, live your life. Live your life. So in the meantime, I dye yarn. Whether I am going back to school as a teacher is very doubtful at this point. Kids have colds, kids have diseases, so to speak. They have germs and viruses, and I'm on immunosuppressants in my first year of diagnosis. Not the best time to throw myself into a grade school. I love my school. I love my school. I'm in love with my school. I honestly am. I have wonderful support and help and people, and my boss is fighting real hard to keep me, and I know that they bend over backwards to help, but I don't know if I'm quite up to it yet. And once I'm on medication, a couple years go by, no episodes, who's to say? We are also kind of looking for jobs in the Philly area. Going home be easier. My dad's not doing great, so being closer to home would be better, and being able to help my mom out a little bit more would be great, and see my friends a little more would be great. Though I have made a wonderful friend down here. Becky is so sweet, and offered to puppy sit anytime that I have a doctor's appointment that's just too long for her, so that she wouldn't be alone. Oh, so cute. I love her. But yeah, so I have wonderful support system and everything, but I wanted to kind of just clear the air. It felt, I don't know, not wrong, but I wanted to share it with you, because I know that I know you've got my back, type of thing. So if I suddenly put the shop on vacation or something, not that people wouldn't have been understanding anyway, but it'll just give them a bigger picture of why. And thank you again for everyone who has been so kind about the orders being a little late. I've really never taken this much time to get orders out, but I was blessed with a ton before I went into the hospital, and 52 orders was, I guess it doesn't sound like a lot to somebody, but it was a lot to get through when you can't stand for more than 15 minutes at a time. So I kept sitting, and I kept doing levels of things. It was just, I got through it, and the shop is open. A ton is on the wall. I keep posting the picture because I'm not kidding. The door still looks like that. If you have any wishes of anything, a ton of it is on the door. So I will post another photo of that. Know that the Gypsy kits will be coming out soon-ish. Thinking maybe August, September. And the MS awareness kits, the 1 cup at a time, are going to be August. That will give me enough time to get through the trunk show order. It'll get me enough time to kind of get the shop in order, and it'll give me enough time to do the 2 Christmas things that are coming out. And then also have some time to relax, because that is important too. I have to be just more aware. That's all. I'm just like a little bit slower, maybe. Oh, yeah. Definitely don't like it when I bend over like that. I'm not going to do that again. Oh, she is dreaming. She's dreaming so hard. Can I hold you up and show everyone how cute you are? Yeah? Can I? Oh, here she is. Here she is. Gypsy girl. Hi. You're so sleepy. This is her morning nap. And we just snuggle together and she lays on my chest and it's amazing. We have such a good time. And then we play fetch and we eat. Yeah, she is such a sweetheart. I hope you can see her. I think I've got her in frame. Yeah. She is a love and she's going to be so helpful for me. And if any of you are of the knowledge of how to properly, fully government-affiliated certify a service dog, pass that information along to me, because I'm definitely interested. I want her to go through all of the natural, normal channels. I know that there is a website, the U.S. Dog Registry. The fine print is that it isn't 100%, so I think that she is going to be just amazing, and I'm so excited. And she's sweet. I kind of came to the conclusion that school probably wasn't happening. I was going to have a lot of time, and I decided that I really, I wanted her. I wanted this. Yeah. Oh, yes, I wanted this. Because you're such a snuggler. She's a Hufflepuff. 100%. She's too sweet. And she's so loyal, and she's so kind. Yes, she is. She's a Hufflepuff. So now we have a Ravenclaw, a Gryffindor, and a Hufflepuff all in the family. I already have a Christmas jumper planned, because GSPs have such a short coat that they need sweaters. I have a knit puppy. Once I can teach her that knitting is not for chewing, because her puppiness is still in full swing, 100%. Not gonna lie. But yes. So we are we're about wrapped up. That's all my big news. I promise I don't have anything else crazy up the pike. We've got some wonderful kits coming out. We've got tons of knitting that we're working on. The Bits and Bobs blanket. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Allison. Like, oh my word. You guys have just totally inspired my blankets. Totally inspired. Oh, I love these snuggles. She's so quiet. She's so nice. I waited for this. I was like, I know she's gonna nap, and I'm gonna podcast when she naps. So this is the new co-host, and I think she's gonna be great. I think she will eventually just like nap where I place her, and you'll be able to see her grow and see her change and see her in her vest soon. Oh, I'm so excited for you, baby. My little Hufflepuff. Plus, she'll look beautiful in goldenrod. Come on, mustard on this coat? Gorgeous. She's going to be so cute. Oh, so thanks so much for hanging out with us today. I'm going to take this sleepy pup back downstairs with me and get some knitting done and just enjoy the morning with her. I have this as an unlisted video at the moment, and I'm gonna try to put it on public next via my computer, so hopefully that works. If not, I'll just be sharing the link with basically everybody so that they can find it. Yeah, yeah. It's been a joy. You are all wonderful. I hope you have a lot of crafty, knitty, wonderful time. And have some puppy snuggles of your own, because puppy snuggles are the best snuggles, right? Yeah? Alright, come here. Come here, Chips. Yeah? Your puppy snuggles? Your puppy snuggles? Alright. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye!